State Together is funded through the McConnell Foundation, and they had funding for 5 for our northern counties.
The inception of Tiny, Mighty, and Strong was thinking about how can we do better by families in rural communities. How can we provide better access and opportunities so that every child does have an equitable access to grow and to thrive as they're figuring out where they're going in life.
I had no idea what Tiny Mighty Strong was, and the first thing Tanya said was, okay, this is the real Amy, and she has TMS and they have summer programs. And I was like, I've been trying to get summer programs for years. How did you do such a thing? It's nice that we do have Tanya because she's a fantastic networker, and the North State Together folks too, because they always reach out to us.
In Modoc, I'm the only coordinator and I work part-time. Every other county has people that are kind of in the work or a little bit more resources. We're just really remote. So I feel like pretty lucky that we've gotten to do as much as we have. From that Strong Workforce Grant, I started looking at, it was through meeting with Surprise Valley Ed Foundation.
Yeah, it's been interesting. So I'm from Big Valley, which is just over the hill. And so Alturas was this foreign land when I was in high school, even though it's 40 minutes away. Yeah, and it's been interesting. So I kind of live under a rock on purpose. But there seems to be a lot of people that care. And I'm lucky in that my upper cohort, there's a couple parents that are just really, motivated to bring what they can for their students and then, their grade in the school.
We have planting demonstrations so that children can learn where food comes from. A lot of people think if you ask your average fifth grader, where do you get milk? Where do you get potatoes from? It's, oh, you go to the grocery store. That's where you get that stuff.
What I saw in our community is a lot of that yellow group really floundering after high school and not really knowing where to go and what to do, and needing a little more hand-holding maybe than in more urban places. Research showed that if a student had $0 to $499 in a special account, a savings account, investment account, any type of an account, they were 3 times more likely to graduate from high school and get into college, and 4 times more likely to access and graduate from college.
Felt like there just wasn't enough money. People kept coming in and asking, teachers were coming in and asking for money to do different projects for different enrichment activities for the children, and we just didn't have the funding. And so I said in the board meeting, we need to start some sort of organization where we can take donations from the community and be able to give those to the teachers.
It really does set students up for success that they don't even know they're capable of attaining or achieving. So if it wasn't for the team, that would never have happened. So I also have a spectacular team, but just really proud that we've been able to see that progress in students, that academic progress, because that is a huge component of their success as young humans.
I really believe that education is kind of this catalyst, and again, around here fighting, or not really fighting, but just coming up against the resistance to this is the way it's always been.
So we do mental health, leadership development, cooking and nutrition, and fitness. And so we serve youth 2 years old all the way through 12th grade, and we do it in multiple facets. So we have our after school enrichment programs for 2 years old through 6th grade. We run summer camps for 2 years old through 6th grade.
And that's why advancing Modoc youth is so important, is that we are sending kids out, but then we're also giving them reasons to come back. Our community always will need new ideas and different ways to grow.
And part of that is this kind of historic resistance that you hear in lots of stories from rural places where it's like, what's the catch? We don't trust anybody outside. We're self-sufficient and self-reliant. We don't need your help, kind of a thing. And so I think it was 2017 or 18 when the Modoc County Office of Ed and Teach decided that this was something worth pursuing.
So just seeing the people that are my age and a little bit above that are just really trying to make the most of it and make it better is pretty cool, and watching it unfold, of knowing nothing about how this stuff runs, nonprofits and grants and all the college career piece, came into it blind, and just seeing over the last 4 years how much has happened and changed and grown.
If we can inspire the younger generation with the older or older student generation, then we start to narrow that gap that is so easily created in rural communities. Because there's such large socioeconomic differences. Our geographical location is really problematic, and just the lack of social services that we just don't have. You know, one of the fundamental components to rural sustainability is collaboration. I mean, there's not a school district can't do it by themselves, Teach can't do it by ourselves, ITMS can't do it by ourselves. So the collaboration with Advancing Modoc Youth has been absolutely beneficial because it's opened up pipelines. It's opened up a pipeline for us to think about what would expansion look like into Big Valley or Surprise Valley or Alturas with an informed lens. It's not just, oh, we're going to take a shot in the dark.
For sure, we're going to keep working together, and we all value each other's time and opinions and abilities, and are able to take stock in people's strengths and weaknesses.
I think that's what's so cool about Project Bookworm is that it's instilling all of the qualities that Amy just said. It's empowering them, it's showing them that they have the skill sets to go out into the real world, and that's important because they need to put everything into perspective that exists in this county. And I think showing them what happens in the rest of the world is a great way to put that into perspective.